Hello and welcome to this week's edition of TB3 Sports Talk. I am Colby. I'm alongside here with Will and Joel. This is episode 47. Welcome back to TB3 Sports Talk. Boys, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I don't want to take up the whole episode. I could talk a lot about CFB 25.
Ooh, you and your $30 extra to play it early. I'm still waiting.
I used it for a birthday present.
Okay, smart. So if you're going to get it for a birthday present.
You could have got a whole nother birthday present with that money, though.
It's worth it. Like, you just accidentally send them the more expensive one that lets you play a little bit early.
Yeah, well, I finessed the wife because I was like, she's like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want? And then I was like thinking about it. I was like, I don't really need stuff, And I was like, why don't you just get me CFB 25? And I was like looking. I didn't realize. I thought it came out on Monday. And so I was looking at it. And I was like, oh, you have to pay $100 to get it on Monday. So I pulled like I've been waiting 11 years. I never really got the chance to play.
That is true. I mean, it is a little bit of a womp story, but I mean, it's true.
My tiny violin.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's how I got it.
And you said you've been playing a little USF football on it?
I've been playing as USF, and those of you who maybe want to look for a dynasty team, maybe start a legacy, USF would be the spot.
Sick
Raymond
jerseys.
James looks sick on there.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Jerseys. That's a big thing, though, to get on a tangent here. I played as them. You can wear their classic green, their classic white, and that's it.
No
really?
Robot? No robot?
Yeah, none of the gray,
What?
no slime, no USA.
That has to be coming in later updates.
Hopefully it's
that
coming,
has to
yeah.
be coming.
But as of now, you can't. You can use their old throwback bowl on a helmet. That's like their alternate
That's your
helmet.
Robo.
Okay,
Your Robo.
we got the Robo Bowl.
Yeah,
That's all I care
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
You can use the retro one.
I mean, what
But
else do you need?
The slime.
I'm surprised
I
no
don't know
slimes.
slimes. Slime is like what CFP 25 is all about. Like I'm surprised no slime. I'm not gonna lie.
So I was a little disappointing, but Ray J looks sick in it.
Nice.
They even changed the Pirates flags to USF ones,
Okay.
which is pretty big. That's like a little detail that I appreciate.
Do they
CFP
do
for
that
putting
in real life?
Yeah.
Okay,
they do.
good. I feel like that's something they wouldn't actually do in real life.
I feel like that's something they wouldn't bother to put in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
But they did.
That's big. No, they
Yeah,
definitely
no.
they cared.
They're fun to play with. Sean Atkins, I know you're listening. I got to throw a pass to you. It gave me goosebumps. I know you listen to the show. We'd love to have you on. You might be
Dream
our most
guest on our podcast.
dream guest on the podcast. You might be our most favorite player. If you're unfamiliar with him, guys, look up his game. He's gritty. He's a gym rat. He's a student of the game.
I'd let him date my
Great.
daughter.
I would too, 100%. Like I wouldn't even give him a curfew after prom.
Ooh,
I would say, you
wow.
know what? I trust you.
Wow.
But yeah, if you don't know who he is, look up his film. He's awesome. Somebody you can root for. Number 38, slot receiver for your USF Bulls.
Big season incoming for him.
Very big. I'm excited, man. Now I can't wait for college football.
Oh, I'm so excited. Speaking of exciting, we go back to the last Rays homestand. We had a little bit of an all-star break on our own self.
That was a good transition.
Yeah, that was good. I did really feel good about it. It's Wednesday, July 17th. Obviously, this week was the all-star break for the Tampa Bay Rays, so no games to recap, but we didn't recap last week's game. So we're going to do that. Last week, the Rays had a huge homestand, and I mean a huge one. They played two top playoff teams in the AL looking to go into the break, going in strong after a sweep against the Texas Rangers, a team that just owns us, unfortunately. But we go down to another really, really big series, and this one is in Tropicana Field against the Yankees, I like to call them. And on Tuesday night, a game that I attended, not with these two, and that's a good
we
omen.
have to talk about that,
We
actually.
do.
We're going to have to address that.
I went without these guys, and it was a good omen because we're bad luck. But in this game, I was good luck as the Rays would go down 1-0. Ryan Pepio was on the mound. They would go down 1-0 in the first, but they would strike back immediately. Carlos Rodon was on the mound, and the Rays got to him early. Randy Arozarena would get the first run batted in with the RBI double. Then Isaac Paredes, his first at-bat since becoming an AL All-Star, hits a 3-run home run to make it 4-1 Rays. The Yankees would cut into this deficit all the way later on in the 7th. Ben Rice would hit a 2-run home run to make it 4-3 Rays. But then Johnny DeLuca and with the help of some Jose Siri wheels around, scoring from first base, would get a RBI double to make it 5-3 Rays. The Rays would hold on. A little scary moment from Juan Soto against Pete Fairbanks, but never a doubt. Routine fly ball. Rays win. And then we move on to a this game made me so mad. The Rays on the mound, they had Zach Eflin going against Marcus Stroman, and the Rays did a good job. Marcus Stroman would only be in the game for 4 1/3 innings pitched, but the Rays would be stifled with runners in scoring position. Once again, the New York Yankees would go up 2-0 off some Trent Grisham heroics, an RBI double, then a sacrifice fly. The Rays would finally break through a little bit. Yandy Diaz would ground into a fielder's choice to make it 2-1, and the Rays would have chance after chance after chance, but to no avail. They would not be able to get these runners on base in, and they would lose this game 2-1, looking to win the series on Thursday. And boy, let me tell you what, this was an electric ball game. We had Nestor Cortez for the New York Yankees going against Shane Baz for the Rays, and both of them were pretty mediocre tonight. The Rays would start it off strong, though. Randy Arozarena would hit a 2-run home run to put the Rays up 2-1. The Yankees would hit solo home runs in the second and third innings to tie it up 2-2, but then in the bottom of the third, the Rays got busy. Brandon Lau, Ahmed Rosario, and Jose Siri all got RBIs to put the Rays up 5-2, getting 5 runs off Nestor Cortez. That's a couple of really good games against this guy this year. The Yankees would try to cut into the lead. They would get a run in the top of the 5th off a sacrifice fly, and then in an eventful top of the 9th, the Yankees would cut the lead to 5-4 off a Ben Rice single, and then final out, Gleyber Torres is up. He hits a pop fly. It's going into no man's land, but Mr. Jose Caballero is there to make it over-the-shoulder catch. Dropped the ball on the transfer. He caught it, and the Rays won 5-4 to take the series against the Yankees at home.
Nothing feels better than beating the Yankees in a series. Life is good. Everything, just your whole mood feels like nothing can go wrong in life. It's how it should be. It's how it should be.
It is.
And it felt really good. This was a great series win. I know the Yankees are struggling. I mean, I think they haven't even won a series in like their last 7 or something. But hey, they are still one of the top teams in the American League. And they are still a tough team. They have good pitching. They have good hitting. And the Rays are able to take 2 out of 3. They should have taken all 3.
They should have swept them.
Let's keep it a bean. They should have. But I'm happy with the 2 out of 3.
And you know what makes it even better? We did it at home. We probably sent 5,000 plus Yankees fans home with tears.
I will say the Yankees game, the game I went to on Tuesday versus the Yankees, it was better. At least the ratio might not have been better. There were still plenty of Yankees fans, but at least the Rays fans that were there were rowdy and they were raucous. They weren't getting bullied by the Yankees fans. They were cheering loud. So I appreciate you, Rays Nation. Good job. Good job last week. I didn't feel any embarrassment in that series. As for the games, I mean, Will said it. This should have been a sweep for the Rays. They did a really good job against starting pitching, getting to them early. No starter, I don't think. Maybe Rodon kind of went out, but all the starters were around 5 innings pitched. Like, the Rays were doing a good job working the pitch counts. Rodon went 4. The other 2 starters went 4 1/3. So no starter for the Yankees in this series went 5 innings or more. And that's a good sign. I mean, that was a sign that the Rays were working good counts. They were, in some of the games they were punishing, and some of them they weren't, but they were still making the starting pitchers work. And it also is another good thing to note. After this series, the Yankees were playing bad ball, but they went into Camden Yards and took 2 out of 3 against the Orioles.
Yeah, that's very true.
So this is a really impressive series win for the Rays. Would have loved to see a sweep, but still, there's nothing really left to be desired. I mean, really, really good series win for the Rays.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think for the most part, starting pitching was amazing once again. I think first game, Pepiot starts off struggling a little bit in the first. Let's be honest. But he's able to reel it in and finish that game strong. So I really like that. Zach Eflin, man, that's what frustrates me the most is losing that game because he pitched very well. And what really makes me mad is as bad as we were offensively in that game, we could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for a terrible error by Yandy Diaz. Because he overthrows it at second base, and then I think it was Gleyber Torres on base. He gets to third base, he gets a third because of that error. And then it's one sac fly, and they get the run in and go up by 1 run. And if that didn't happen, we would have probably seen extra innings. Mm-hmm. And the Rays seem to have some good luck when we get to extras. They're at home, so they have the advantage. But that would just made it even more frustrating because Eflin pitched pretty great.
Absolutely.
He's bolstered his trade value.
Hey, maybe. Honestly, I think we
can afford it.
We
at this
can.
Point.
We're starting to look at like Eflin's kind of a Yankees killer. You can go back to Eflin, but he's a Yankees owner for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wish he would own a lot more other teams, but we'll take it. I was thinking about it because the Rays are going to owe him $18 million next year. I think, and especially too, I would rather gamble. Seeing what Springs can do when he comes back, maybe seeing what Rasmussen can do when he comes back. I'd rather gamble that, and the Rays can trade Eflin, save that $18 million that they're going to owe him next year, and hopefully buy some bats. So I actually see it more now as a plus trading him than not trading him.
That's how I've seen it this whole time. I know that the Rays have not always been in a position where you think they could buy and gain some offense at the deadline. But to me, it's always felt obvious. Zach Eflin is an experienced starting pitcher. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. But the Rays, quite frankly, have better arms. You look at Shane Baz. You look at the stuff that Jeffrey Springs has. These guys are really good. And then put them along. Baz, Littell, Bradley, all those people, Pepio, really good arms. And I think Jeffrey Springs is a better arm than Eflin. And experienced starting pitching, it sells. It's going to get a lot of value at the trade deadline. And if the Rays, at this point, you have a surplus. At this point right now, starting pitching has been fantastic, especially since Shane Baz came up. You look at Taj Bradley. He looks like a bona fide ace right now. Ryan Pepio, after having a few shaky starts, has had 2 really good starts in a row. And, it's just you see a need in your team. It's very obvious. I would really, like you said, use Eflin as a plus to get some offensive production. But I don't know what the Rays have in mind.
Do the Braves still want him?
Yeah, I think the Braves could look into a Eflin, a Rosarina package. They need some outfield with all their injuries.
And looking at his contract, Eflin, he signed for 3 years, $40 million, right before the 2023 season. So, that's Rays baseball. You sign him to some big money, get a year out of him. Hopefully you build his value and you trade him. I don't think the value is necessarily built, but even if we were winning, I think you see him traded this deadline.
Yeah, because like I said, they owe him nearly half of that $40 million next year. They owe him about 18.
Yes.
Yeah, and Springs is built up to about 4 innings in Durham. He's done that a couple times. He's pitched pretty well. I'm a huge Jeffrey Springs guy. I think he's really, really
You don't
good
have to
pitcher.
get me started.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's
to
a
watch
Cy
him
Young
pitch.
next year.
I agree.
He will be the AL Cy Young.
I agree. But, yeah, and then obviously if some of these young pitchers were a little more shaky, you would be more inclined to keep Eflin. But, we can get into Bradley later when we get to his game because he's phenomenal. And then Ryan Pepio. this is a really good start. Like we mentioned last week on the episode, me and Joel were talking about, Ryan Pepio had kind of a rough month. He had a couple stretches, had one game, wasn't going deep into games, had that one game where he was really good, where he got pulled too early. But other than that, Royals game, he was getting hit around a little bit, wasn't getting a lot of length, wasn't getting as much swing and miss. His control wasn't great. But this game, he had all of it. Like Will said, bad first inning, got out of it, and then he strikes out 7 across 5 2/3 innings pitched. He throws 102 pitches, I think I saw, 101 pitches, and almost gets through the 6th. Very impressive from Ryan Pepio. Love what I saw from that.
I know. I really like him. There's not much more. You really answered it. So.
That's it.
I mean, it's another guy in the Rays pitching factory, like, which is nice to see. It's like sometimes you feel like we might be running out, and then it's like, hey, look, got Ryan Pepiot.
He almost outdid it later on in the week. Great starts from him. Going back, this was your second Shane Baz start coming off injury. I guess, Will, we haven't heard your thoughts on Shane Baz yet. This start, he went 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And, I mean, what is your opinion just on Shane Baz in his first 2 starts as of right now?
I mean, they've been decent. I think expected. I think it's hard to look at them, and especially like this one, 4 1/3, 3 earned runs. That's not necessarily what you want to see. But again, he's getting back to it. I mean, he hasn't played in what, 2 years at this point?
A year
2
and a
years
half
at
at
this
least.
point?
Yeah. No, it is 2 years. It is 2 years.
Because I can't remember when he went out in 2022.
It was the middle of the season, so it's been about 2 years.
It's been a while. You got to let him adjust a little bit. There's nothing terribly bad I see, and I'm more so excited to see what he can do when they push him a little bit, let him go a little further, because I think he's special. I really do. He had some shake. He was shaky there in the start of Durham too. He was not having the best of starts when he started his rehab, and he started locking it down and pitching phenomenally. I think his last start was incredible there in Durham. I can't remember the stats.
He had a few like that, like few 6 innings, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. He had a few like that.
Yeah,
in a
he
row.
had a couple solid, really solid innings or starts toward the end, and so I'm excited to see what he'll do for the future. And I still believe in him. I still do.
Yeah, and I mean, this was a story of his stuff wasn't as sharp. I think his stuff was pretty sharp against Texas. Like we said, he had one bad inning where he had 4 hits in a row, gave up 3 earned runs. Other than that, was pretty clean. This game was a little bit harder. Fastball didn't have as good of command as he did the first start. But like Will said, the stuff is there. I mean, he's pumping 98 to 99 pretty consistently. Slider looks really good. I don't think there's been many hits off that so far. So he's looking good. I'm excited to see him continue on pitching in the second half because I think he has an electric arm. And it's good to see.
He's still a young guy. He's only had 11 major league starts in his career.
Yeah, so we talk about like Pepiot is very early. We talked about like Taj Bradley last year. There's going to be some ups and downs, and it feels like he's more of a seasoned veteran because of all the injuries and stuff like that and all the ups and downs and that. But like Joel just said, 11 major league starts. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. But it's how can you keep your team in the game, which he did in this game. He did in the game before. So I'm still really high on Shane Baz.
Me too.
One thing I'll throw in right now on Eflin, while I got the stuff in front of me, he has a $150,000 buyout at the end of this season. If he's not traded, I think the Rays are going to exercise that.
It would suck to not get him for anything, not get anything for him.
I mean,
There's gotta be.
I think
if we can get rid of Savali, we traded Savali to a team and they gave us something in return.
Yeah, we'll get something for Eflin.
Yeah, we'll get something for Eflin.
That makes sense
sure.
though, with the structure of the contract and now like being 2 years into it. That was their system. They were like, before the big money, we're going to pay a little bit to get out of that $18 million a year. Man, the Rays stink. It's like 2 years ago, I'm so happy, and now it's like now we're here. It's like, oh, there was a little wrinkle in there. The $150,000 buyout of the $18 million.
Speaking of some stink, I got a little trivia question for you.
All right.
So that series win against the Yankees was their first series win at home versus an AL East opponent since when? Can you tell me the month, the year, and the team?
I can give you month and year. Team would be maybe Rays. I'm gonna go.
No, who they beat?
Who they beat?
Like the last home series.
Yeah, okay. I'm going
against the AL East.
I'm
opponent.
going like first week of May, and I'm going Rays.
No, they are the Rays. Who they beat?
I thought we were talking about the Yankees.
No, the Rays beat the Yankees.
Oh, I don't care.
So you think
I thought we were doing Yankee slander.
No, this is
right,
Rays.
It's definitely not this year. Now that I'm thinking about it, is it Yankees in September last year?
You have the month right. Yes, it was the last series win versus the AL East opponent at home for the Rays was September 6th of last year against the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, dang. What just happened? Sorry,
Commercial
guys.
break, guys.
Sorry, chat.
But yeah, I saw that and I was very upset. We haven't won a single series at home against the AL East. I know there hasn't been that many, but there's
been enough. Orioles lost Yomi Soda. Orioles, Red Sox. You beat Boston and Fenway in a series, and you go back and get swept by them at home.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
demoralizing.
Yeah, split with Toronto. So yeah, looking for some more series wins at home against AL East. I was thinking about just in general. That's the first time we've beaten an AL East team in a series since Toronto on that one really good road trip we had. So yeah,
wasn't it the start of the Rays resurgence?
Yeah, or something. We were like the Rays have hit their stride, and then immediately got swept.
We should have known because we were filming and they got absolutely killed.
They did. That happened last week. You weren't here, but we had the game behind us.
We've had 4 AL East series at home this year.
Lost
them all. We were 0-4 in all those.
Well, actually 1-3 now.
No, the Yankees one was the 5th one.
Wow.
1-4.
Yeah, we're 1-4 now.
Wow. Brutal.
It can only go up.
Fair
or it
enough.
could go down. We're back.
Oof.
We're back.
Yeah, hitting wise, still looking for the big hits. Oh, I will say, here I have a point here. On Thursday, Brandon Lau starts against a left-handed pitcher, 3 for 4. Kevin Cash, stop platooning the lows and the Lau. All right, stop doing it. Those are your best hitters. I'm tired of seeing these all right-handed lineups that looks like we just fielded AAA Durham on the team and Randy Arozarena and Yonder Diaz.
You forgot an important hitter that game, though, too.
On which, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Who? What happened?
Alex Jackson, man.
That wasn't the Alex Jackson game.
Oh, that wasn't?
Wrong. That's Cleveland.
That was
get
Friday?
Into that. That was Friday.
Ah, wrong
yeah,
day.
that was. But
close enough.
But Brandon Lau has not gotten many opportunities to play against a lefty. He gets his first one against a tough one, a guy who's throwing funk. It's Nestor Cortez, one of the better lefties in the league. And, well, at one point, maybe not now, but still, let these guys get some at-bats against left-handed pitchers. I mean, you're looking at, instead of Brandon Lau, you got Ahmed Rosario, and you're going to DeLuca in the outfield instead of Josh Lowe. That's a really big downgrade. Like, I really want to see Kevin Cash trusting these guys lefty on left. Even Palacios. I'd like to see Palacios get some left on left at bats because those have been your best players.
But Josh Lowe's been slumping now.
But I think part of the reason, in my opinion, you guys could maybe butt in. It's hard to get out of a slump when you're only playing
That's fair.
3 out of every 7
true.
games.
Very true.
So I think the best way to get this Josh Lowe out of a slump is let him play against lefty, let him play against the different pitchers. Don't yank him. He's had some tough at-bats. There's no denying that. But I really trust Josh Lowe. I got a lot of faith in him. And I just want to see Kevin Cash get out of his own way. I'm still not huge. Kevin Cash has made me angry a lot.
Going down the memory train. Did the same thing that they're doing with Josh Lowe right now a lot to Matt Joyce. I feel like they're pretty similar in their skill levels, and they would never let Matt Joyce play against lefties, and it caused him to get into funks. But when they were letting him play, he had one of the best months I've ever seen in a Rays outfielder.
Even, go back to Game 1 of the Wild Card Series. Josh Lowe has been on a tear August, September. Lefty on the mound, Jordan Montgomery, and you start Manuel Margot, and that kind of starts your scuffle of not scoring. So I'm a huge fan of letting these guys get some at-bats against lefties, letting the righties stay in. Let Ahmed Rosario get some at-bats against righties too, because the dude's hitting 300. I mean, let your best bats get in the lineup. I get you got to play, you got to field your positions, you got to have people, you got to have good defense. I get that. You don't want to have Ahmed Rosario playing shortstop every night. But could it kill you to let him play shortstop 1 or 2 nights and let us have our best lineup fielding out there?
Sorry,
or best lineup out there?
The computer clearly states that the Rays have a 0.66% less chance of winning the game if you have a lineup with those righties. It's just,
the computer spoke.
That's 2/3.
All hail computer.
Of 1/10 of a game less.
Hasn't he watched Moneyball?
That's what makes you do the computer stuff.
But I'm saying at the end of the day, they still lost.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the moral of the story.
It is the moral of the story.
Through anything is like it's a great story, but if they didn't make that movie, how many of us would even remember that happened?
It's true.
The ending of Moneyball is such an awkward ending. It's like, look at him driving away happily in the car. Oh, and by the way, they haven't won a World Series since they made the movie.
And Joey King hits a solo. Isn't that her in it? Singing at the end?
Yeah.
It's a very awkward scene.
Yeah.
Are we good on the Yankee series?
Yeah, Yankees stink.
Yankees stink. Huge series win. And then we head still in the Trop. We're not heading anywhere. We're still in the Trop against the number one team. Yes, you heard that right. The number one team in the American League. The team with the best record in the AL. The Cleveland Guardians. A team that has been on a tear this year. Slugging. Big prospects.
Dude, the power
big
of
hitters.
friendship.
Power of friendship, which, you know what? Maybe we need a little bit more friendship.
Yeah, 21 games over 500.
Yeah, having a spectacular season, lockdown bullpen, really a lot of good young hitters. Steven Kwan's hitting 350 on the season. So this was going to be a tough series for the Rays, but luckily they had their ace on the mound on Friday night, and let me tell you what, he shut down the Guardians. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and that was the story of this game. The Rays would get a couple runs. They would get a double play run in the 3rd inning by Brandon Lau. They would continue to get the base runners, not really get the big hits. Yandy Diaz would get an RBI double to score Alex Jackson. Yes, you heard that right. Alex Jackson scored on that Yandy Diaz double. And the Rays would win this one 2-0 off stellar pitching by Bradley, Poche, and Adam. Just phenomenal game. And we're going to the next one. Saturday, TB3 is in attendance. It is a Saturday, City Connect Day. We're looking for a
Longo
big win.
first pitch day.
Longo first pitch day. You are right, guys.
The vibes were high.
That's why I was in the stadium. Dude, when they did his walk-up song.
It was good.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
It was good. It was really good.
These guys don't know. They were buying like popcorn.
We
or
were
something.
there, Joel. We were
No,
walking in.
no. You weren't in the seat watching the Jumbotron like I was.
Oh, okay.
In the video you took, you didn't even film the first pitch. You were
Yeah,
filming
because
us,
I was
so you don't
filming
watch either.
you guys being idiots.
Look, man.
Hey, man, we
Will,
tried.
the guy who goes to batting practice every game
It
is
was-
late to the one game that matters?
It was my fault. It was my fault I was
your
late.
fault. I just, I don't know. I didn't really feel like showing up early. I'm kind of sick of it, honestly. To be honest, I love showing up
You
early.
burnt yourself out.
But I did
going
get
to all
burnt
these
out.
dumb games early.
You get so stressed and worked up for like that hour and a half I'm there eating pretzel bites and a chicken nugget bowl, and then you get to the game and they lose like 3-0 and they don't even get a hit. Like,
That's brutal.
it gets tough, so I've kind of slacked on that. But if they start winning, maybe I'll go early again.
And as for the game that we went to, another dud for the TB3 boys in attendance. The Rays would go up 1-0 on Diaz double in this game, but in the top of the 5th, the Guardians would strike. Martinez, a new prospect, I think it's Angel, right? Angel Martinez would hit a solo home run to make it 1-1. Then Andres Jimenez would hit an RBI single to make it 2-1 Rays, but the Rays would respond right back. Richie Palacios would hit a leadoff triple in the top of the bottom of the 5th, and he was scoring an error to make it 2-2, headed into the final moments of the game. But in the top of the 8th, after a lot of chances from the Rays went awry again, and with runners in scoring position, the Cleveland Guardians' new prospect, Mr. I'm going to try to say his first name, Joanski Noel, with a massive 2-run home
Shouldn't
run.
even pitch to that guy.
Shouldn't have. He was
That
scary.
is, have you guys seen Major League with Charlie Sheen?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is the dude, the voodoo guy. I think I said that.
Yeah,
again.
you did.
That's
you
literally
did.
him.
Yeah. But yeah, he would hit a 2-run home run to put the Guardians up 4-2, and their bullpen would hold. Zach Littell pitched this game, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Really solid stuff from the guy. But the Rays were not able to get the big blow with runners in scoring position, and that costed them in this 4-2 loss.
This was just a snooze game all around. 17 runners left on, but between both teams.
Wow.
Just boring baseball.
Wow. But there's a rubber match, and that's why we have tomorrow's game. This game, we had Ryan Pepio versus Ben Lively, two pretty good pitchers on the mound, and Ryan Pepio outshined Ben Lively. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 4 strikeouts for Ryan Pepio, and the Rays pitched another shutout off Pepio, Poche, Adam, and Fairbanks. The Rays would get 2 runs off solo home runs. Jose Siri would get one in the top of the third, or bottom of the third, and then Brandon Lau would get one in the bottom of the sixth, and that's all the Rays needed. They won this one 2-0 to win the series and go 4-2 on the homestand.
I think we have to address the elephant in the room before we get into anything. Are we bad luck?
I am. I've admitted to it all year. Let me just break this down. So the Rays are. Let me say this first. I've been thinking about going to a lot of Tuesday games. Like Tuesday's a night where it's like, all right, I might go to the Rays game. I just might go. I haven't gone to any Tuesday games for at least the last 2 months. The Rays' record on Tuesday games, home and away, 5-1.
Wow.
I gotta start going to Tuesday games.
You do. I've gone to a couple Tuesday games.
You have. I'm always like, I might go. Colby's like, oh, I'm going. Then like, yeah, I didn't go. And they win 5-1.
But if you go and they start losing,
then it's really
no,
bad.
It won't happen. They're 5-1 without me. They're gonna be 5-1 with me.
6-1.
That's
true.
Yeah, no, this is like our overall record where all 3 of us are attending the game. It's not great. I know we talked about it. We had one good one, the Randy Ovation game, but that was a magical night. That kind of feels like a write-off.
Destiny.
That was destiny. That was kind of like, I don't know if that one counts. It was a little bit too magical for our record.
But even in any game where 2 out of the 3 of us are together, I think they've all still been losses.
It's me. I'm on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, I was on a bad losing streak, and then I went a couple times without Joel, and I got off that losing streak.
I haven't seen the Rays win at home since like the first week of May.
Wow. That's sad, man. It might be the Randy Ovation game.
I think it was.
Wow.
Same for me. I've every game I've been to this year has been a loss outside of that game.
Wow. I'm 5-10. Been a lot of games.
I'm like 1-5.
Man. Rays, start winning some games when we're here, man. We root hard.
Dude, the magical season of last year, I think I was like 13-4 or something.
I was up there too. I was like 12-1. I was doing so good. Man. What a year that was. They were so good at home last year.
Yeah, they really were. It was really fun to watch. But getting into the games, man, what more can you say about Taj Mahal Bradley? Phenomenal. 8 strikeouts, right?
Yep.
8 strikeouts, 2
Only
walks.
2 walks. 7 innings pitched.
And I think what the manager said to the Guardians, correct me if I'm wrong, is Vogt, right? Stephen Vogt? Vogt.
Stephen Vogt's their manager?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great Rays catcher.
I was afraid of butchering it. He was like, we didn't lose that game because we didn't get any hits. We lost because Taj Bradley didn't make a single mistake.
Wow.
I mean, he was just phenomenal. And, yeah, I think we posted a little reel.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about it, but this guy's special. And there's a lot of doubts. Past couple years, he was young. Some people were sick of him. But he stuck with it. He perfected his craft. He changed up some of his pitches. And he's just been lights out. And it's been a treat. Every start of his has now been like a treat. Like, I'm looking forward to it. There's not a whole lot to look forward to sometimes with the Rays this season. When Taj Bradley's on the mound, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see it. It's awesome.
All right, so on June 1st, he gave up 9 runs. Since then, the most runs he's given up in a game was 2.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been 0 runs or 1 run.
In his last 42 innings pitched, he's given up 5.
Wow. He's fantastic. I was going to say something like what you just said. Taj Bradley had a run where he gave up 5 earned runs. He had a shutout, and then he gave up the 9 earned runs. So 14 earned runs in 3 games. And he still has a 2.9 ERA. I mean, he is pitching outstanding. And I think I always had a lot of faith in Taj Bradley. You saw the fastball, but like we said, he didn't have the secondary pitch last year. We all talked about this. The cutter was getting mashed. He didn't really throw the changeup. He didn't really throw the curveball that much, and it came to a point where it was like you can get first time through the order like that with the fastball, but after that it got really hairy for him. He had a couple good starts, but a couple really bad ones. He comes back. Everyone was really high on him in the spring. It felt like the vibes around Taj Bradley were like, this is a different guy. Obviously, because he's been working on that splitter, he gets hurt, and you kind of forget about him. You're like, I don't know how much of a boost this guy's going to give.
I was very skeptical.
Yes, I was skeptical too because last year, I mean, he was barely the fifth starter, and he was definitely pressed into action before he was ready. We had all those injuries to pitchers. We understand that. But it was definitely like, I don't know. I don't know if this is like, I'd rather, at the beginning of the season, we were talking about it with full strength. We're like, is it going to be Pepio or Bradley? Like, who's going to be in the rotation? We have all our guys. Bradley, he's your 1-1 right now. I mean, he is 100%. Fantastic. That splitter is just disgusting. And he just, it's impressive. You have games like this where he had everything working, didn't make a mistake according to Stephen Vogt. I believe him. It was fantastic. And even his bad games, you go back to, I think it was the start before against Texas, he comes out, it's shaky. He could not throw his splitter for a strike at all. I mean, Brian Anderson would not shut up about it. He was like, I don't think he can throw the splitter for a strike. And then the third inning clicks, and bang, the splitter comes, the fastball comes, and he shuts down a team that owns the Rays and only gives up 2 earned runs over 6 innings on a bad day. This guy has every capability of being your starter, and I look ahead, and my goodness, the Rays rotation, not only in the later months of this year, but next year, holy cow. I mean, you got this guy who is your ace right now, and he has no reason. He is your ace because he is dynamite. He is fantastic, not because of lack of pitching. He is fantastic. Then you have Shane McClanahan, who is probably, when healthy, the best pitcher in baseball. I said it. Lefty, disgusting stuff. Then
Better
you have
than Springs?
Yeah. But then you look at that. Springs could be your 2 or your 3. If he gets back to full strength, we know what he could do. Will said he's winning Cy Young next year.
He is.
And I believe him. And that's
He is. I'm telling you, he is.
That is an all-time top 3. And I'm not even trying to be biased. That is incredible. Then you could slot it in with Pepio on a second year of being.
And I think he will have tremendous strides from this year to next.
Exactly. He's already had tremendous stride. He could be an ace-type person by September with the way he's striding. Then you have. Maybe you got Zach Littell in there. Shane Baz is still around. He has an electric arm. Maybe Eflin doesn't go, and he's your 5th starter.
Don't forget some Rasmussen.
Yeah,
we've seen what he can do.
I see what he can do if he gets back
the
to
guy
that.
with all like Tommy Johns.
Yeah, Rasmussen I think might be a bullpen guy.
Dude, we almost saw him throw a no-hitter. You and me. We were there against. Yeah. That was Orioles too.
Yeah,
almost.
That was a huge game in 2022. But yeah, looking ahead. My goodness, Rays front office. I know we got Junior and Carson Williams coming up. Get more bats. This could be one of the best starting rotations we've ever seen.
Do you think it could be the greatest in Rays history next year?
I don't even think there's a question if it's healthy. I don't even think it's a question. I'm saying in MLB, modern day. And I'm not. I truly think with the stuff that they have and the depth of what it could be, this could be an absolutely special rotation. Eric Neander, Stu Sternberg, I'm on my knees begging. Put some money into the bats. Give me a DH that is experienced and can drive runners in.
Here's what's making me excited right now. Shane Baz is a free agent in 2028. Ryan Pepiot's a free agent in 2029. Taj Bradley's a free agent in 2030.
Oh, yeah.
The window.
We got him for years,
The
man.
window is wide open.
Yeah, what's the TikTok audio? Like, it's not crazy for you to say that. That's how
It's
I
not
feel.
ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that.
It's not ridiculous to say that. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. We could see something very special. And you know what? I don't get like it has to be 5. Let's have like 7 starters.
Maybe.
Have a whole week of just
a gauntlet.
Murder's row. Like no matter who you play, you're
it's
like
the steel curtain, but it's just the Rays rotation.
Like if they could just stay healthy, man.
Please.
Like I don't want to see like
That's
the
a
next
huge
year's like
if.
Yeah, don't be a pharmacy,
Curtis
guys. Come
Meade
on.
pitching.
Oh my
Like-
gosh. Like somehow Josh Fleming's back. It's like, oh my gosh.
Erasmo Ramirez, come on back. Third time's a charm.
Man, he's there. He's ready and
It's
waiting
like
in
12th
Durham right
12th
now.
time.
He's still
the
on the
charm.
team?
Well,
he
nobody was
was.
going to take him, obviously. So he
So
just signed back with
good.
Durham.
Dude, September call up, please.
Oh yeah, he's bolstering our. But have we ever thought about teaching him how to hit? Maybe he'll hit tanks. Yeah. So high on Taj Bradley, high on the Rays rotation next year. As for that game, obviously that's just Taj Bradley show. So we'll go to the next one.
Littell.
Good start. Another good
Yeah.
start. Really, nothing you complain. He's had a couple rough ones.
Rays couldn't hit, man.
Rays couldn't hit.
hit.
It was another story of runners in scoring position. It's a glaring issue. I think they were 1 for 34 with runners in scoring position in the Cleveland series. Something like that.
It was 1 for 33, and I was going to bring that up at the end
Yeah.
because it was like, man, 1 for 33, and you still take 2 out of 3
Yeah.
against the best team in the AL. Just look at the possibilities.
Yeah.
Look at the potential that we have. If we just buy at the deadline, maybe sell a couple pitchers to get some bats. Like, look at the potential this team has.
Yeah, and just also the people on the team have potential to deliver the big hit. I mean,
Wow.
tweak a little bit of the lineup. These guys are hitting good. They just have to come up in big situations. They just it's like comical at this point. Like I don't understand how they can have so many base runners, have so many good at bats until the guys get in running scoring position, and then it just completely flips. So I'm looking for the Rays to reach their full potential coming out of the break, and I'm gonna say it. This series coming up, they're gonna hit 350 plus with runners in scoring position against the Yankees.
I love the optimism.
I have a good feeling about it.
You know what? You're getting me so fired up right now. I believe. It's going to be Angels in the outfield type.
They just
Type,
need the hit.
scenes.
They just need like a couple hits, just a couple.
Yeah, seriously, against it. Do we play Rodon again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, give him to me. Do we play Cole? Please tell me we...
Eflin Cole first game out of the break.
Oh,
I'm kind of scared about that.
it's
We'll
going to
get-
be a barn burner.
All right, we'll get into that. Last game with the Guardians.
Ryan Pepia again.
Spectacular.
What, 2 hits over 6 innings? What
Yeah.
more could you ask for? That's
Spectacular. He's pitching to
beautiful.
contact. Only 4 strikeouts. A lot of contact. No walks. 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. Everything else was a ball put in play. That's pretty impressive from a young pitcher. Good to see Siri and Lau go deep. It's good to see Lau. We picked him for the home run draft, and he went a long time. He got it on the final day. He got a point for us. So good to see that. But yeah, another situation where the Rays had a lot of scoring position. Or they had plenty of base runners. Ben Lively pitched good, but this was like to shut out this team. The Guardians were
Twice.
The Guardians were top 10 in almost every hitting category in the AL, and you shut them out twice and won with hitting 1 for 34 or 3 with runners in scoring position. That is a heck of a series. That's a heck of a homestand. I mean, looking back, 4-2 against 2. Both these teams are very much going to be in the playoffs. I don't see a world where they aren't. That is very impressive. And the Rays go into the break right at 500 after having a horrible run differential, after having a bevy of injuries, and they're still right in the thick of things. I mean, you still have a lot of work to do. You're 5 or 5.5 games out of the wild card. Have a couple teams you have to jump, but I mean, if you can go 4-2 on this homestand, especially after getting swept the previous series, you can do about anything in the second half for the Rays.
And you just got to believe. You just have to believe. Rays fans, keep showing up. Keep going to the games. Keep believing in this team. And ownership, front office guys, come on. Please, don't give up on this team. We went through so much to start the beginning of this year. Some of the worst baseball I've ever seen. Just a long nights where you're begging for a hit. You're begging for a hit or
You're
something.
like Austin Shenton, Curtis Meade.
Somebody do something.
Oh, gosh.
Sitting through Tyler Alexander starts. Sitting through all that. And yet
Savali.
they're still at 500 through the All-Star break. You just got to believe this team can do it. And maybe we're going to see something special. Maybe we will. Call me crazy, but it could happen. It could really happen. We saw last year the Rays go off to a historic start and slump towards the end of the year after the All-Star break. The worst July in history, they said. Maybe we see the opposite this year. Maybe we see him tear up. But you just got to believe. Keep showing up to the Trop. Keep investing in this team. Keep believing. Don't stop believing, guys.
Don't do it.
It's going to happen. Colby got me fired up.
Amen.
And I've been thinking about it like this team is not done yet. Something special's in store. I believe it.
They're not.
Yeah, something special in store.
Oh, no, don't. No.
But it's in store for 2025, 2026. I'm not selling the future for this season. We're done. We're 5.5 games out of the wild card. That half game's huge.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah. Don't just get rid of Eflin. He's gone. Okay. I made this point before. I'm gonna make it now. I thought about saving it for a tidbit, but I don't care. You trade Austin Meadows. Austin Meadows is pretty good. I say trade Isak Paredes too. He's got value right now. All-star pedigree, you could say, but all he did in the All-Star game was play a ball from third to first. So he looked pretty good. I got to give him that. So trade him, trade Eflin, and next fun fact: the Rays are 27-27 at home, and wait, let me confirm that they are 27-27 at home, and 21-21 on the road.
Wow. That's pretty
We're
satisfying.
perfectly 500, man.
We are.
That's why you just have to believe. Don't listen to this guy. We're supposed to be We're not DAE. We're not the JP Peterson show. We are TB3.
We just pooped a turd about how positive we are about the next 10 years.
That is true. That is true.
We can be positive about this year and the next year.
I do want to go back. Don't trade Isak, man. I would hate that.
Apparently the Rays, why we brought this up, Joel jumped the gun a little bit. The Rays, there was news today from Mark Tompkin that the Rays are listening to trades for Isak. They're not actively selling him. They are listening for trades. But as all teams do, you listen to trade offers. Mm-hmm. You listen to them. So there's nothing guaranteed. It's not like the Rays are looking to sell right off the rip or anything like that. Just they're listening to a trade. Mm-hmm. It might be some scare media. Nothing more than that.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're going to go trade talk, the trade deadline is July 30th. The Rays have 10 ball games before the July 30th trade deadline. 4 on the road against the Yankees, 3 on the road against the Blue Jays, and 3 at home against the Reds. And that's going to be a huge tell.
You got to win these.
You got to win these games.
You got to win 6 out of 10.
I think if you really want to sell and get someone who's a bona fide player, you got to win 7 out of 10. And that's doable. I think it's doable for the Rays.
Against the Yankees?
4-gamer against the Yankees.
You got to take 3 out of 4. So
yeah. Well, even if you split that and then you sweep one of the Reds or the Blue Jays and you win the other series, like that's possible.
No, I'm saying because I want them to have a winning record against the Yankees.
Yeah, that would be nice. You're right.
Because they're 5-4 or 4-5 against the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
3 out of 4, so you have the winning record.
All right.
It means something to me.
3 out of 4 would be sick. I mean, I think they can do it. I said they're hitting 350.
And I think, come on, you put the Blue Jays to bed.
Yeah. Make them
Vladdy
sell.
a Yankee.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You know he's gonna go there. But that's a good thing
I saw
because
something about him going to Astros.
Seems like an
I want him to go to the Yankees because I know he'll be bad there.
They got their guy,
true.
bro. Ben Rice is good.
Dude. What's with that? He hit 3 home runs in a game. He hit
he
4
tormented
out
us,
of 5
man.
games, and then he hits one against us, and then he gets another huge double in game 3 of that series.
I almost grabbed him on fantasy, but
he hit.
How do they get these guys?
I couldn't do it.
Honestly, all their prospects have been duds, so they're bound to have one good one. They've had a lot of it. Yeah, Oswaldo Cabrera, that guy sucks. Anyways. Yeah, so 10 games. I'm saying if you really want to get a bona fide MLB player, win 7 out of 10. He's saying 6. Joel, what are you thinking? If you want them to buy,
If I want them to buy, they probably gotta win 6.
okay, 6 or 7. Yeah, so be on the lookout. We already talked Eflin. We already talked Isak. Randy's another name. We've talked that before, though. Just depends on what the value is. You don't want to sell low for him right now because you still have team control for him. That's important. Another guy that might go, depending on how this goes, Ahmed Rosario's on a 1-year deal. He's had a really good season. A team might find value in him, and the Rays might be eager to flip someone that they got for basically free for a prospect or something. Brandon Lau is always on the trading block. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Another possibility is they take the route of keeping Zach Eflin and then they trade Zach Littell. That's something that I could see them doing, but for the fact that Littell is so cheap and Eflin is not, I don't see why they would do that. But yeah, those are some names on the block. Relievers. I know people are interested in Adam Fairbanks. Please don't do that, Rays.
No,
I love them.
Do not. And I don't know. I think the Rays are in such an interesting position.
They are. It's a tough spot.
Because I think you could be buyers and sellers at this deadline. And contrary to what you're saying, Joel, I don't necessarily think they would have to sell the farm to get better. I think there's a lot of expendable guys on that roster right now that you could trade and you could get some decent value for them without giving up farm pieces. I really do. We can 100% afford to get rid of Eflin. We could honestly get rid of Rosario, and I think we would be 100% fine.
My hot take is we could get rid of Randy and get better.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I love Randy. He is definitely a fan favorite. I will be very sad if he gets traded. But I think those 3 guys, you can trade them away and be considered sellers, but you could honestly get better with those moves. I really do think that.
You get better, but you're not making a run to the postseason.
I think they could.
I think they could.
With the guys coming back.
With the pitching.
And the pitching. Like we just
you
said,
gotta
Joel.
think pitching.
Look at this team. They went 1 for 33 with runners in scoring position against the best team in the AL, and they took 2 out of the 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's you get lucky. You get really good pitching performances.
But I'm saying that's what the Rays could
have.
do.
They have
they
good
have
pitching.
Really good pitching. And I mean, you look in October, potentially. I mean, Bradley, Springs, Littell, Pepio,
you could move Littell to the
Boz.
pen.
Yeah, you could. You have Rasmussen potentially at that point. You have a lot of options, and that could be a really, really formidable pitching staff. And all the Rays got to do is get 1 or 2 big hits, and they've done that before in the season. Like at this point of the Rays season, with what starting pitching looks like, they score 4, you're feeling good about it. That's not always been the case with this team this year, but they have a really good pitching staff, and the bullpen's starting to warm up. I guess we I don't know if we talked about this, but Phil Maton got traded. Bye. Rays actually shedded a lot of money in that, which is an important thing to note.
That was in between episodes, right? So
yes,
I guess
we haven't done that. I don't.
He's
think.
long gone. I already forgot about him.
I did too.
I wasn't even thinking.
I think he already blew a game for the Mets.
I barely even knew he was on the team. Like I'm like Phil Maton had a major league contract.
We were paying him $6
million.
million.
I saw that. I'm like, he had a major league contract.
But he was like top 5 highest expensive players on our roster.
Yeah.
So it's good to get rid of him. We shed a lot of money. So
I know, all good moves,
yes, good moves.
Expendable moves, and the team gets better. We can do this.
Oakland Athletics, we will give you Curtis Mead, a 17-year-old pitcher, Austin Shenton, and a 16-year-old infielder, and we'll take Brent Rooker and Shea Langoliers.
We will give you 3 Publix locations.
We will give you $10 for your stadium because we need all the rest of the money for ours.
How long would a Publix last in Oakland?
18 months.
I was hearing about a Publix in South St. Pete that is closing down because it gets robbed too much.
I mean, New York is falling apart because of all that.
They losing out on the bodegas.
Oh man, they can't.
Did you go to a bodega when you went up there?
No,
I didn't.
New York lost all its targets.
I feel like that's I don't know. I got some street food, but not a bodega.
You didn't get anything the Aki way?
No, we weren't in Brooklyn, man.
We get bacon and cheese the Aki way.
That's a big regret. Yeah. Trade talk, we're good.
All-Star game, Isak,
Yes.
yeah, he was there. He looked beautiful. He flew on a private jet there with his family. Looked so happy.
That was cool.
It was really heartwarming. Game, uniforms were ugly. I think
Uniforms
that
are ugly.
was the
Okay,
biggest thing.
I will say, did you guys see the batting helmets? It said it had AL and NL, but it had like the Western font and it had like the stripe, like the hat. Those were the best merch that they had. The batting helmets, if you're looking at home on YouTube or if you want to look them up, the batting helmets for the All-Star game were cool. The hats were the jerseys stunk. That's
Terrible,
my opinion.
yeah.
Stunk.
Weird
not good.
color scheme.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You try to go with the shoulder patches. That's not a move.
They got to go back to where you just wear your whites.
They
or your
said they
grays.
might potentially do that.
Yeah, I think they're going back to
goodness.
just wearing your uniforms.
I saw someone say the team should wear their city connects at the All-Star game.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would like that.
I saw it. That would be very cool.
That would be a good way to
very cool.
promote them.
I would do that, or just give everybody an alternate for it or something. I mean, I wouldn't say the uniforms have necessarily been bad up until this year. I didn't mind Seattle's last year.
They were solid.
I didn't mind the
I see
Yankees,
Seattle's all the
Dodgers.
time in the Rays Stadium.
Yeah, it
Like
was
the
pretty
Seattle,
popular.
the Seattle Diaz jersey.
What year did they wear the
place.
gray? The gray and like the white, and it like was just a gray jersey and it had all their logos. It was like very simple. I liked it. I think it was 21 or 22.
Was it the 20? Was
I think
it
it's
gray
20
and gold? Like, because they had like gold and like kind of dark gray. I thought, right? Or was it
Was-
black in 2022?
I think it was 2022. I think
Because
it was
those are
2022.
cool.
Yeah,
the
those
hats
are, cool.
are sick.
Yeah.
I
Those are cool.
regret not getting a Rays one because it had the star, and then like the inside the brim was like a palm tree thing. But
Oh,
it
that
was
is
super
cool.
cool.
Yeah. No,
Missed
these
out
ones
on
were
it.
one of the worst jerseys in a while.
Yeah, but yeah, it was uneventful. It was all the Paul Skeens.
Well,
show,
okay, here's my
Livy
thing.
Dunn.
Guys, chat, here's the question. You can comment this down below, actually. YouTube comments. Do you guys think the MLB All-Star Game is the best All-Star Game in pro sports? Personally, I think yes. I was pretty entertained. I'm not a huge fan of the Pro Bowl or the NBA or NHL games.
Dude.
For me, I was pretty entertained. I think MLB has the best one.
I have to disagree. I have to humbly disagree. One thing that's cool is the mic'd up stuff. I love hearing the players talk about in the MLB
That
All-Star
wasn't
Game.
doing it for me.
I love that part. That's the best part about it for me. But the NHL is a playoff. Come on, dude. Playoff 3v3.
3-on-3.
You
Fans are
can't
so
beat
fun.
that.
I think you can. I think because the pitchers are actually throwing gas, like going hard, and like they're not running hard, but the batters are like giving real at bats. My only thing with the MLB All-Star Game that kind of sucks is the beginning's way better than the end. Like I kind of wish I know you want your starters, but I kind of wish they would format it where the second string All-Star guys would come in first, and the game would end with the starters giving the last at bats. I think that would be better. But
Yeah.
like the first 3 innings of the All-Star Game was very entertaining. I enjoyed it a
And
lot.
you got like the nobody on the Marlins who they had to put in and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And it's like whatever. Ryan McMahon's out there.
It's kind of a humbling experience because I mean, like Isak Paredes is like, oh, they put in Isak Paredes.
He's
You're
at
at the
Paredes
game, guys.
he's having a great year.
Was,
though.
that's why the MLB game sucks is because of the fan voting. I mean, basically any All-Star game with fan voting. Because if more people knew ball, Isak would have been an All-Star. He was playing phenomenal all year. That's my hot take.
No, it's not hot. It's just normal. Fan voting
If
sucks.
most fans knew ball, Isak would have been an All-Star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't help him that they're
And Jason Adam would have
I
been
was
an All-Star
surprised
too.
Jason Adam was
Jason
an
Adam
All-Star.
would have been one.
Clay Holmes with his 3 RA. And
Yeah,
his
dude.
over
what was
1
that?
whip.
Why would you give it to him? Jason Adam deserved it.
Yeah,
man.
no, that was a snub.
And even Paul Skeens is great. Paul Skeens this, Paul Skeens that. He wasn't there's something about like Shane starting. He was one of the best pitchers in the game that year in 2022. But Paul
Yeah.
Skeens,
Paul Skeens is.
he's just a name.
I differ. I
He-
think, dude, he has a lot. He is 6-0.
At
He has
the, at the Cleveland
he
guy.
has the Pittsburgh guy.
Oh, okay.
Sub 2
we're
ERA.
We're just getting so infatuated with this guy, and this is his first season. I didn't play the whole season yet, man.
Yeah, he's pretty gross though.
And he's playing in
Hey, speaking of snubbing,
the NL Central.
yeah, that I can agree with that point. Speaking of snubbing,
And we beat him.
how Yandy Diaz owns them. How is Corbin Burns starting over Tariq Skubal when Skubal has better stats in every single category?
Skubal is only good because he's on your fantasy team.
Yeah, sorry
I'm just
about
kidding.
it.
I did say before I get fact checked, I did say the Rays should trade for him last year,
Yeah,
and
that
I
would've
do
been-
regret not getting him. It just makes me mad
We-
because every
we
time
would've-
I see the scores, he always gets you like 30.
Yeah, he's really good. I think the Orioles are interested in him, but they're not gonna. I don't think they trade him, man. That would be dumb by the Tigers, but the Tigers are dumb, so we'll see. Anyways, week preview. Wander Franco. Wander Franco has been charged as.
He got Jeffrey Epstein, man.
He did. So basically, the understanding of this situation, you guys can check me if I'm wrong, but right now, Wander Franco is on the restricted list, I think is what it's called, and he's not getting paid. He is not getting paid, but his contract is not voided. It's not terminated right now. So the Rays are still going to probably be very cautious to use the money on someone else. There's not a huge history of MLB being able to, and teams being able to terminate contracts with players because of all the
throw us a
guaranteed
bone,
money.
MLB, please.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wouldn't be as excited as some people are to be like, oh, let's just give Randy's money to or Wander's money to Isak or to Randy or to someone else. I don't know if that's how it's going to be played out.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but yeah. Not to get insensitive, what he did was wrong, but the attorneys down in DR were not charging him, and I kind of thought like maybe this is a Trevor Bauer situation, and then immediately like the next day he got popped, got popped with a bunch of charges, including sex trafficking. That's pretty big and terrible. So yeah, he's done. Banners are done. I gotta take my bobblehead down at work.
I saw some of the shirt jerseys at Walmart, and here's the funny thing: it was a kid's jersey. I'm like, you guys probably should take these off the shelf.
Gotta burn those things.
I almost bought one, but then I was like, why would I do this? And I didn't.
What were those internet, the fad with the internet pictures called? What are those things?
What?
You bought like a picture on the internet.
NFT.
Yeah, I have a Wander Franco NFT. I gotta sell that.
Bro.
I should have sold high.
For $14.
It was part of the bobblehead giveaway. They're giving out NFTs. I thought it was so cool.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
I was like, dude, this is the future. This is the future.
Why did they do that, man? That's so dumb. What a dumb idea. NFT with the bobblehead, like what?
Dude, all the people who are buying Bored Apes for $8 million have to be homeless right now.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
That was like so fast, and I knew it. I knew it was gonna go south, but it went a lot quicker than I thought it did. Man, NFT.
Yeah, and crypto, but crypto was around a little bit longer. NFTs
Crypto's
were so
still
good.
hanging on.
Crypto had a good little wing there for like a month.
It's just our economy that's bad right now. Like I think crypto will go back up.
It's possible.
And I keep saying that, but I don't invest in Bitcoin, and I should. I really should. I'm gonna feel like a fool. So remind me, Chad.
I have some. I kind of look at it like fantasy baseball sometimes. I'm like, how's my fantasy crypto doing? That's not doing too hot today.
Oh boy.
Rays Stadium.
Oh yes.
So what I can tell, there was almost a walkthrough of the vote, because tomorrow the Pinellas Council people,
No, St. Pete
City Council
Yeah.
vote on it, and it seems like basically if that vote goes through, the Rays are pretty set.
The Rays need 5 out of 8 city council members to vote
need
yes.
5 out of 8. So they went through the walkthrough on Tuesday for it, and then there was like kind of a press conference today that went down. Basically, from what I saw, from what I read online, I wasn't there, of course. There's some good news should come tomorrow. There's a lady who's like the swing vote, I guess. She's like the 5th vote. And she said in an interview, she was quoted, this is on the record, she said she is going to vote yes on this, the stadium plan. And they were saying it'd be a huge shock if she flipped. So I hope there's some good news tomorrow. You might be listening to this and you see the news.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just hope and pray, guys. Hope and pray. Keep the Rays. I mean, I know we can discuss all you want about St. Peter, Tampa, but at least let's keep them here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep them here. Keep them in the Bay Area. We want baseball here. I think we would be very sad if anything else happened. So sometimes you just got to be grateful for what you get. But let's hope it goes through.
No, I mean, we're not going down that way. Come on, be grateful for what you get. No, I'm done there. Hands off. Hands off. That's all.
I understand. I don't think
like
this is
that sentence right there. Like I don't like that.
Okay,
one.
I obviously wouldn't rather have them in Nashville.
Yeah, I think
or Montreal.
Yeah, I think the sentiment is we have the Rays in the Tampa Bay area for at least 10 more years. I mean,
it would be a while. That stadium deal would probably be like 20 or something.
It would tack on like 30 years.
We might have the same problems, but I mean,
we would still have the Rays. That's what I want.
Us three. Just take us three. We enjoy Rays baseball in St. Pete very often, and we have a great. So we're gonna keep having that if this vote goes through. And at the very minimum, the problem may not be solved. The area around it might help. Don't know, but at the very minimum, the people that are enjoying Rays baseball right now, the loyal fans, the ones that are going to keep enjoying the games, and the other ones that aren't will just keep watching on TV.
And in 2030. They're going to have this many rings.
Yes.
You want to know how many that is?
10.
None, because in 2030, the rings are invisible.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. They don't have any.
Okay, well, come on.
I live in Tampa now. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for the traffic. It was way easier to get there from Tampa than it was driving through 19. I live in Tampa now. I take the veterans down to the Howard Franklin. That's what everybody else would do. If you lived in Tampa, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. The argument is done. I will die on the hill. It is way easier to get to St. Pete from Tampa. You got the Howard Franklin. You got Gandy. There was no traffic. I experienced no traffic at all. I can say that I'm a Tampa resident. On my address, it says Tampa, not West Chase, Tampa. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for you guys. You don't have any. I've done both. I've lived in Dunedin, and I've lived in Tampa now. It's way better driving from Tampa. I have to say it. There's no argument there.
Really? Wow.
One day we got to do that race that we were talking about.
We will do the race. It'll be the most epic video of all time. I have it all mapped out in my head. I got the script. For it. I just need some YouTube subscribers. Maybe you guys send us some subs on Twitch. Help us out. But I got the video, and I promise you, I'll prove the nation wrong.
I mean, go back. But, like, Tampa residents complaining about the trop and going is just like, and going and the thing is just like ketchup and mustard. It's like an iconic duo, like complaining.
It is.
Tampa
I mean,
residents.
we say it's fueled Tampa Bay's sports talk for 20 years.
Yeah.
And wait. Will, what time did you leave for the game?
I did not leave early.
All right. What time?
What time did I got there? I got there about 30 minutes before the game, and I waited for Colby in the parking lot.
But what time were you on the Howard Franklin?
I left at like 3.
This is Saturday to be.
Okay. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes in this. There's a lot of holes.
We gotta go. We're doing this race.
But here's what I'm saying. We're gonna get down to the minute details because here's what I'm saying. You go down the Howard Franklin, okay? That connects you to 275. You're already in the left lane. And it goes way quicker to get there because when you go down 19, you're coming from Pinellas. You have to turn left on Gandy. Maybe you guys have secret routes, but it still takes longer.
We have the gateway now.
It still takes. That costs money. That costs money. Anyways,
the best 50 cents I ever spent.
It costs money, guys. Let's just be real. But
cost money.
But if you're turning onto Gandy and even that connector. You do both. You have to merge onto 275, and that's what slows it down. And you're stuck in traffic then. But me, in the left lane, because I've been on 275 all the way from Tampa, I'm just cruising down. There's nobody merging into my lane. I'm flying. So there's another like minute detail there. It goes all down to the science of traffic. Again,
But everybody's doing what you're doing at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Do you want me to try it on Tuesday?
Oh, we got to do this. Like,
I'm telling you, I'll prove the nation wrong. Anyways, preview this.
That'll be fun. We got to do that.
That is fun. We do. Even just for our own selves, and we'll report the details on the podcast if we don't have the YouTube video. But it's a banging YouTube video.
We have to do the YouTube. Dude, I got the whole thing. I'm telling you, I have a script.
All right.
All you guys is characters. I got characters, you guys.
Oh, wow.
Can my name be like Joey or something?
See what I was gonna do.
Joey doesn't share.
Do you want me to spoil it on the show?
No,
Okay,
don't.
I'll tell you guys after.
Okay.
Friday. Spoil it for me.
Friday night. The Rays have 4 games against the Yankees. I think that's all we'll preview because it's through Monday. We'll probably record again. We'll see. But
yeah, we should.
4 games against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Friday night, 7:05, first pitch. Zach Eflin faced off against Garrett Cole. Then on Saturday, the Rays starters have not been. Oh, they have Taj Bradley on Saturday versus Nestor Cortez.
Easy dub.
Sunday, we will have Shane Baz against Marcus Stroman. And then on Monday, afternoon game on Monday, 105, little day game baseball for your Monday at work.
It's my birthday.
Nice. Happy birthday, Will. You get a 105 Rays game. Hope they win. They better win. Yeah, hey, but it's white noise.
You get a little entertainment.
Sure.
Zach
I need
Littell
white noise.
versus Carlos Rodon on Monday.
Yes.
Honestly,
we're taking 3 out of 4.
I'm saying 3 out of 4 too, and I'm saying, who am I saying? Richie Palacios is hitting one and is back in his home state again.
Yeah, I'm saying we're taking 3 out of 4 and give me Brandon. Wow, he's hitting the home run. He's gonna be hot after the All-Star break.
Ooh,
he's gonna be hot. He's gonna be sitting there, getting upset. Where's my career at right now? What do I want to be in life?
I don't want to be traded. Wham, wham. Or I want to be traded. Wham, wham, wham.
Something like that.
He
He probably did like a Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat this week.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like the type of guy to do that.
He would do that.
Take some ayahuasca. Yeah. Don't recommend, guys. I've not taken them, but I think you're seeing demons. I don't think you're seeing some higher power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just TB3 tidbit for Will right here. But yeah, I think Brandon Lau's hitting the home run. He's gonna have a hot streak. Reverse switch 360 Uno card. Blammo from last year. Brandon Lau, hottest July.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go. I'm gonna go 2-2, and I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna not slander Isak. Isak's gonna give me a home run. I'll eat my words. I'll eat it like a plate of spaghetti. I mean, I don't like the guy, but if you
don't like the guy. Or you just think they could trade high on him?
If he hits a home run, like, it wouldn't be crazy. Like,
no,
he's gonna strike out like 6 times.
He doesn't even strike out that much.
I have him on my fantasy team, and I can assure you,
interesting.
He gets a lot of strikeouts.
Some guys aren't fantasy
He either gets me a 2 or -1. 2 or -1. Take your pick. Flip a coin.
That's Pete Alonso for me.
Yes, strikeout or homer. That's the life. Doesn't get enough of the homers.
Trade 1 for 1.
I'd take that trade.
I'm not trading Pete Alonso.
I don't even have Isak on my team. I'd pick him up.
I was saying in real life.
Trade for Pete Alonso?
Isak Paredes for Pete Alonso.
Every day.
I actually would
There's
not
something
do that trade.
special about him being a hometown kid and grew up. He's a Jesuit guy.
I mean, get the polar bear on the Rays. Give me the plush toy. Give me the bobblehead. Give me all of that.
Yeah, that's a little enticing.
My goodness.
I like Isak, but that's enticing.
It's pretty enticing.
There's something about a hometown hero.
All right. That's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's
all right. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Episode 47. Comment what your favorite pro all-star game is in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't and you're listening or watching. Follow us on Spotify and hit the 5 stars button.
Before we go, let me say one thing. Keep going, and then I'll just say it.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and Joel.
All right, guys, it is time to rip the Band-Aid off. Evan Longoria throwing out the first pitch this week. He was asked the question, are you considering coming back to baseball, coming back to the Rays? His reply was simply, no. I've waited long enough to know that I was done.
Yeah, he's old. Wow. He's old. We don't need him. That's sad.
I mean, like, the dream's over. So
Well, sometimes you got to know when to hang up the cleats.
Now you can focus on winning now, Joel, and not
Now,
the Longo September reunion.
Isak Praties is my hero.
And just like that.
There's no hope. Longo's done, so I guess I got to put my cards on Isak.
You just said you wanted to trade him.
I do, because I want Longo.
Well,
Dude, he's a dinosaur.
I like dinosaurs. They're cool.
And on that note, we hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night. See ya.